Welcome back to MSNBC. I'm Carlos Watson. Now, all eyes are on Virginia right now, trying to determine which way the political winds are blowing. The governor's race this fall is seen as an indicator for the 2010 races, and among the most curious which way the state is heading, freshman Congressman Tom Perriello. Now, Perriello took the road less traveled to Capitol Hill last fall, a former community organizer. Where have we heard that before? Perriello graduated from Yale Law, then headed overseas to prosecute war crimes. Back on American soil, he decided to try his hand at politics. Now, as an unlikely Democratic candidate from rural Virginia, Perriello beat a six-term conservative incumbent by only 727 votes, the closest margin of all the 2008 races. And after that stunning upset, Congressman Perriello has quickly become an ideas leader in Congress, and he's known for speaking truth to power. With me now today's rising star, Congressman Tom Perriello. Good to have you join me.
Thank you. Congratulations on the new show.
It's good to be here. Congressman, so tell me, how much of an aberration do you think your election was, or do you think there's a larger trend at work that's worth watching?
I think there are a couple of trends. One is my generation really is coming to politics from community service backgrounds, from the nonprofit sector. We really saw government as too broken to get involved. If you wanted to help your community and country, it was in that entrepreneurial social justice space. But after 10 years of that, you really find that at the end of the day, those decisions are being made in Washington. So.
How did you get a lot of? We saw during the election that Obama, some fun was made. In fact, my son and Nicole worked with Sarah Palin, made fun of community organizers. I mean, did you get a lot of pushback in rural Virginia about the notion of a community organizer, war crimes prosecutor, now running for office?
No, for me it was part of a faith calling that tried to address issues of human suffering, and I spent time in Sierra Leone after the Blood Diamonds War, and I think people appreciated the idea of putting your principles into action and not just being talk. And I think that's what people look for in the campaign, is not just an issue, but is this someone who's really authentic, who's the real deal?
Nicole, what do you make? I know you're meeting the congressman for the first time.
The Republicans' worst nightmare. I mean, this is why. I mean, really. But I have a question though. I tried to get Linda Douglas to answer this. How do you, as a leader in your party and a new leader, how do you kind of march in lockstep with a White House that appears not just to people on the right, but to a lot of people in the middle to be veering so far to the left on the economic issues, going against the docs on health care reform, really ramming a stimulus package through that had zilcho Republican support? It's helpful in Virginia to have, to be behind the things that had bipartisan support. How do you, on energy, really they're marching toward a carbon tax. How do you deal with those issues at home in your district?
Well, first of all, I don't think anyone should be marching in lockstep. I think this should be about good ideas, but I think part of what my generation rejects is some of what you're offering as the right, left, center spectrum. I don't think we buy the same right versus left. We see more of right versus wrong. We see, is this going to solve the problem? And I think at the places where
right
I feel like
give us a couple examples. Give us a couple policy examples. We only have about a minute left, but give us a couple of policy examples.
Well, I think when it comes to something like redefining our energy economy, half of a decent idea doesn't make it a better idea. It often makes it a worse idea. We are falling behind all of our competitors in the energy sector. We are losing jobs every day that we don't have the guts to do this. Freedom isn't free. We have to step up, and our generation understands the jobs the next 20 years are going to come from this sector. The economic competitiveness is going to come from this sector. So for us, that's not a right or a left idea. It's a whether we're going to move forward or look back idea. So here's where I think we got to swing for the fences and score some home runs, because we need to put some points on the board.
Promise us you'll come back.
I will.
Looking forward to it. Very good. Former President Bill Clinton at the United